You're back again.
You frozen. You're frozen. Voice and video.
So let's take some thoughts. Didn't get a chance. Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Haribol? Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
It says that your internet connection is like you, unstable. I want to say that it has to become like all of you, very stable in life. So please pray so that I and the internet connection become stable. So how was the experience? Did everyone get a chance to encourage the heck out of everyone? No? Yes?
Yes,
Maybe?
Prabhuji.
Good, good, yes. Again, keep your face in the middle of the screen so when you raise your hand, I can see your hand, right? So who would like to share how you felt? Anyone would like to share how you felt? No one? Okay. Okay, Biraj, and then Vedi.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. I felt really encouraged and I felt good to interact with other people.
Very good.
It was a fun experience.
Excellent. Yes, Vedi, you want to share your experience?
It felt very nice and encouraging.
Very good. You need to sound also like that. Very good. So we are talking about the power of hearing. Words have a lot of power. You know the story of Hitler? How he encouraged in a wrong way to kill others, right? So words have a lot of power. They can encourage anyone to the degree we can't imagine, and they can have a negative impact also to the degree we can't imagine, right? So let's start our discussion today with the first verse of Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, text 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Yunjan Madashraya Asanshayam Samagram Mam Yathagyasasi Tat Shrinu. The point to focus is Shrinu, hearing. Let's read the translation. Yes, Krishna, you want to read?
Okay, Prabhuji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt."
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's really powerful. So, how can we understand Krishna? By the power of hearing. There's a very nice verse, and that will be your bonus verse for those who, some of you may already be knowing it, some of you may not know it. Prahlad Maharaj speaks this in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 7. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmani Vedanam. These are the 9 ways of bhakti, and out of the 9, the foremost is Shravanam, or hearing process, right? So as we discussed the impact of hearing, we felt the impact of hearing, we have discussed positive examples, negative examples. Now the choice is, if we engage the same power of hearing in the spiritual way, in a spiritual side, it will have unlimited effect. So hearing is very, very important. Where whatever sound vibrations we are letting our mind absorb, either they will create a positive or negative impact, depending upon what sound vibration is. Right? Do you all agree with that? So therefore, here Lord Krishna is telling that you must hear now attentively. So what's that verse number for those who may want to learn Shravanam Kirtanam? 7:5:23. Okay, 7:5:23. Canto 7, chapter 5, text 23. Moksha Mataji will put the first verse and we'll have a kind of easy way for all of you to go through these verses. Okay, so chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita has an acronym called HEAD. Okay, what was the acronym for chapter 6? Who remembers? Mithral?
Was it easy?
Easy, yes, it's so easy, right? Very good. Okay, let's study this acronym. Okay, I'll put some notes here. HEAD, acronym for chapter 7. What does H stands for? Guess what? Any guesses? I think some of you are saying it by words and actions. It's hearing. That's what we discussed. We've been talking about hearing the sound vibration, right? Depending if we hear a lot of, how many of you have felt this? How many of you have felt this if you hear a lot of mundane sounds and that goes in your consciousness? Have you felt that? If you hear a lot of bad sounds or just, let's say, things which are not good for us, it will go in our consciousness. If we hear a Bollywood song 50 times, 10 times, Hollywood song, guess what it will go? Will it come in the time of chanting? Will it come? You agree? How many of you agree with that? Has it happened? How many of you have experienced that? And any song, it could be Bollywood song, it could be Hollywood song, it could be, and then the chanting also, that will come, correct? Or in the time of exams, it will come. At the time of some studies, it will come, right? So hearing is very, very important. So even the science has proven it, even through practical examples, we have discussed the FM waves and so many ways we have to, the hearing has an impact. But whom to hear from? Now we're talking about spiritual life. Whom to hear from? From bona fide teachers, from bona fide gurus, from Bhagavad Gita, Shastras. That will have the right impact, not from any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Here, Krishna is telling that topmost knowledge. This chapter is called Knowledge of the Absolute, correct? And you know what? Can
You're frozen. Prabhuji, froze again.
dogs, cats, bats, your internet connection is like you, unstable. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Okay.
couldn't hear you what you said before.
Okay, I was telling that hearing. We're talking about hearing. So we should hear from the right authority, right scriptures, right guru. Correct? You all agree with that? If we have to ask a physics question or a science question, we'll approach a science teacher. Correct? We'll not approach a barber for that. Similarly, if we have to understand the knowledge of the Supreme Lord, we'll approach a devotee of Krishna, a guru, in the right scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, not just any book, any and stuff.
Prabhuji, you're freezing
Now,
again.
the question may come. I don't know what something is not right today. I'm sorry about this.
Prabhuji, you're frozen.
I'm frozen again.
I can hear you now, but your camera is still frozen.
Your camera and your voice keeps on freezing in between. Then it
Yes,
gets
Prabhuji.
better.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, but there's kind of like an echo.
There's a bad echo, Prabhuji.
Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, let's really pray Krishna to help us. Because when we are in unstable zone in life, then only Krishna can help us to be stable. Correct? This human form of life is very, very
Prabhuji, you're breaking up again.
friends.
You're lagging a lot, Prabhuji.
Okay, how about now? We try with this one. Is it better?
It's better.
It's better, Prabhuji.
Okay, I'm trying from my cell phone. Let's try this. Human form of life is very, very rare. In this connection, there's a verse in the chapter 7, text number 3. For those who have given the exams, can anyone tell?
Can you
Yes.
repeat that, Prabhuji?
Avani? Yeah, 7.3.
मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु कश्चिद्यतति सिद्धये यथा तम् अपि सिद्धानां कश्चन मां वेति तत्त्वतः.
Very good.
You froze again, Prabhuji.
There's some static in the background.
So, how many species of life are there? Any species of life are there? Anyone else?
Prabhuji, I know.
You're frozen again.
Moksha. Yeah, Moksha, do you want to share?
Prabhuji, 84
Can you hear
lakh.
me?
Yes, Prabhuji, now we can hear.
Haribo. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
It's still staticky and freezing.
84 lakh or 8.4 million. That's correct. Sorry, the internet is not cooperating today. Can you hear me?
No, we can't hear you, Prabhuji.
No?
Prabhuji, you're seriously breaking up. It's like every word you say is cut in half.
And it takes like double the time to hear.
Okay, Sampada Mataji, when did you do Kirtan? I'll join in a minute or two. Sampada Mataji can do Kirtan. I'll join in a 1 or 2 minutes back. Anyone do Kirtan for a couple of minutes?
Yes, Prabhuji, Mataji is doing.
Okay.
I was just getting the kartas. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Is it okay now?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji.
We restarted our modem to see if that helps. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, the rarity of human form of life. Okay, we were talking about that rarity of human form of life. There are 8.4 million species. We're talking about the acronym HEAD. The H stands for hearing process. Only the humans have the capability. The dogs, they may be able to hear. They have a special range, but can they introspect, or can they become self-realized souls like all of you have the availability or the option to become? Can they memorize Bhagavad Gita? Can they understand Bhagavad Gita? No. Maybe once in a very, very rare chance, but humans have this. So that's what text 7.3, Manushanam Sahastreshu. What does the word Sahastra mean? Anyone knows the word Sahasra? What does Sahasra mean? Yes, Mishti.
Thousands.
1,000. Very good. Write it in your, please, in your vocabulary. For those who are building the Sanskrit vocabulary too, right? We come to text 3. We discussed the word Shrinu here, Shravanam Shrinu, Yatha Gyasasi Tat Shrinu. And how we should hear with rapt attention, not just time pass. So we come to text number 3 here. Manushya. What is Manushya? The word man in English comes from the root word Manava in Sanskrit. Or these Manus are the sons of Brahma, Swayambhu Manu. There are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. Right? You know this? So the word man in English or mankind, man comes from the Manu, the Manushya. Sahasreshu, thousands, amongst thousands and thousands of people, only a few try to endeavor for perfection. And of those who try, or those who have achieved perfection, only one can understand Kṛṣṇa in truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means the path of bhakti is very, very, very rare, right? So all of you are very, very special souls who are trying to understand Kṛṣṇa, who are trying to learn about Kṛṣṇa. This is very, very rare thing. This is the text number 3. Then we come to the E. What does E stand for here? Which we have discussed, or we will discuss in the E stands for that Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Lord, is everywhere. But we can realize him everywhere. The next few verses talk about this concept. Now you may wonder, how can we realize God everywhere? Can anyone give some examples? How can we realize God everywhere? Yes, Ethereal, and then Vedi, and then Hilly too. Yeah, please tell.
Because I actually forgot what I was gonna say.
I forgot. Okay. Hilly? No worries. Pray to Kṛṣṇa, he'll give you the remembrance.
Like life everywhere in Krishna is in everyone's soul. So if Krishna is in everyone's soul and there's life everywhere, then that means that Krishna is everywhere.
He's everywhere in the soul. Okay, very good. Anyone else? Yes, Moksha Mataji.
Prabhuji, I don't remember the verse actually, but if we remember that verse in which Krishna says that everything which is conscious or unconscious, like non-living things or living things, are present because of me. Or maybe it is the one are the spark of my splendor, something like that. So if we remember that verse and practice that in our daily life, then we can see Sri Krishna everywhere.
That's a great example. How many of you believe there are different planets? You all believe them. They are floating objects, correct? They are floating. Someone must have created them, correct? Or they came by chance. The creation implies a creator. Do you all agree? You must have heard the story, but I'll share again. One time there was Einstein and his atheistic friend. Einstein was a firm believer of God. So he made a very nice model of solar system with different planets, and then he would rotate a shaft, and then all the planets would rotate in their specific orbits, like how different planets move in their orbits, right? Have you heard Earth colliding with Jupiter or Venus colliding with Mars? No, because there is a very specific arrangement by someone. And who is that someone? God, Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Creation implies creator. Even if it's a tiny pen, right? Did it come by chance? No, someone made that pen. When you hear, how many of you have like done like firecrackers? You've done at some point. When you burst crackers, is there organized arrangement or there is a mess? It's a mess, right? So his friend was believer of Big Bang. Big Bang led to creation. And then he asked Einstein, hey, how did this come? This intricate model, so nice, so specific arrangement. There is so much order and in this whole system. How did it come? And he said, oh, it come by a bang. And I was just, sleeping and I woke up and some wood pieces were there and some bang happened and it just came by chance. He said, no, it is impossible. Bang leads to chaos, not harmony, right? When there is a bang, do we hear about destruction or we hear about construction? When a house is being constructed, do they get all the wood and the cement and the iron and steel and they put a big dynamite there and they do a bang and the house is done? Does it sound like a very good idea? Or there is specific design. Some engineers have worked on the design. Some workers are working on the construction, on cutting the different materials, putting it together in a certain patterns and organization and structure, planning. Good intelligence is being used, right? How many of you know how to make paper plane or paper boat, right? Most of you know. How many of you know how to make an actual plane where you can sit and take a ride? Right. So what that tells us that to make a small thing, it needs less intelligence, right? I don't know either, so don't feel bad about it. We're in the same boat, not the paper boat. Okay, so we don't have to feel bad about it. The point is that to make a thing, just a paper boat or a paper plane, it doesn't need a lot of intelligence. It needs some intelligence, right? It's not that you just put a paper and just bend it or fold it in any way and the plane will be there, right? Is that correct? No, you have to fold in a certain pattern, so you have to measure certain things. For creating a small paper plane, you need some intelligence. Now, how many of you agree that to create an actual plane, it needs a lot more intelligence, right? All of you agree with that. How many of you agree now to create these big Earth planet, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, and there are unlimited such planets? It needs unlimited times more intelligence, right? You all agree with that? That's the intelligence of the Supreme Lord, because he is the most intelligent, unlimited intelligence. And there's a verse in Bhagavad Gita 7.7. Who can tell that in this regard? Which is in the list of, these are all the verses which we cover in more detail here are in the list of those your 50 verses. Okay, yes, Vedi. It's on the screen also. Yeah.
Mata parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam shutir manigana iva.
Very good. Rapti, you want to read the translation?
O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread.
Very good, thank you. How many of you have seen the mala? Mala, everyone has seen. Most of you do also mala, right? We see the pearls or the beads in the mala. We don't see something. And what is that something? Yes, Vinayak?
The string.
The string or the thread. Similarly, in this world, we may see different things. Oceans, raise your hand if you have been to an ocean. Mountains, how many have been to mountain, right? Or some lake or some, water body different areas, deserts, different creation, elephant, giraffe, lion, snakes, and birds, insects. Isn't Krishna's creation so majestic? There are lakhs of species of insects, lakhs of species of birds, lakhs of species are the tiniest of the tiny. There are some birds which can fly 1,000 miles, but their weight is only a few grams. Can you imagine how intricate the creation of the Supreme Lord is? Can the scientists make a plane which is only a few grams and can fly 1,000 miles? No, they can't do that. Our body itself, the heart, the kidneys, the lungs, the head, the brain, there is very complex functions going on, right? Even the doctors are also of certain particular subject. Like if someone is a doctor for head, they will not talk about the heart. They don't know about heart. If someone is about heart doctor, they have very specific fields they know about. Someone is a doctor for bones, someone is doctor for some other types of stuff, right? You all know about the specializations. What does that tell us? That this body is so complex that it takes multiple branches of science to understand that. Someone is an eye doctor, someone is an ear doctor, correct? So it's very complex. Now, how did that come? Krishna is saying, I am that thread behind these pearls. As pearls are strung, okay, sutra, mani gana iva. What does sutra mean here? Anyone knows the word sutra? Okay, Sanskrit. Sutra means thread. There is a game called Sutra Krida. Maybe we'll play that someday. Sutra means thread. Mani, it's not the money, it's the money. Money is the pearl. Gana, anyone knows the word Gana? What is it? Ganesha. You heard? Gana, Isha. Bhakta Gana. We say this Samveta Gaura Bhakta Gana or Bhakta Vrinda, same thing. Gana means groups, right? So all the groups of money, the groups of pearls are tied together with the sutra or the thread. Similarly, Krishna is that thread where everything is resting, all the planets, the people, the living beings, everything is resting upon him. He's the Supreme Lord. So if someone says, I can't see God, if we need the eyes to see God, right? In this chapter, further it is explained that when we see someone intelligent, Krishna is the intelligence of the intelligent. Krishna is the taste of the water. He is the light of the sun and the moon. He is the sound in the ether. He is the original fragrance of the earth. He is the heat in the fire. He is the life of the one who lives. He is the intelligence of the intelligence. So in multiple ways, the Supreme Lord is saying that I am the strength of the strong. If someone is powerful, where did the scientists get the intellect from? From the Supreme Lord. Where did someone who has a lot of strength, where did he get the strength from? Ultimately from the Supreme Lord. So an intelligent person sees the hand of God in everything. Shall I tell you a story of Mike Tyson? Everyone has heard the story of Mike Tyson. You heard? Mike Tyson, name? He was a famous boxer. Very, very famous boxer. And he was very proud also in the beginning. To the extent he ate the ear. He was so like a world champion. And there's a verse in Bhagavad Gita, Ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. When a person is covered with false ego, the one thinks, I am great, I am the greatest. That's what his dialogue was. Mike Tyson used to say, I am greatest. And later he was very powerful, a world boxer, the best boxer in the world, lot of name, fame, prestige, and pride comes before the fall. But can his strength stay like that forever? Yes or no? No. Will he go through the old age phase? All of you say yes. Okay. In old age, he got a disease called Parkinson. He could not lift a tiny pen. He could not lift his own mug of water. And he said, I am the greatest fool. Very deep, right? Sit properly, Sahas. I'm the greatest fool. For one who does not see the hand of God behind everything will become proud. So no, we should try to do the best. We should try to get the best grades, be best in everything. But at the same time, always remember that it is the hand of God which is helping us. Humble people have one quality. They are always giving credits to others for whatever they may achieve in life, right? And others always are. Others in the sense, other people, friends, family, etc. But ultimately, it's the Supreme Lord. The people who are proud, they blame others if they don't get success. But if they get success, they think it is me only who did all the hard work. God out of picture, everyone else out of picture. Greatest fool. So those who give credit to others and to God, they are great actually in the eyes of God. Okay, so this is about the first two letters. The H is for hearing and E is for God is everywhere. We need the eyes to see. Let's take some thoughts, reflections. I think now the network is really stable because all of you sincerely prayed. Let's take some few thoughts or reflections. Anyone has to say something or tell or correct? Anyone? Any reflection? So what is a reflection? Okay, who will tell what is meant by reflection? Who can tell? Ishan?
A reflection is basically something like referred to.
Something like you refer to? Okay. Anyone else wants to say? Yes, Mahima. Who has not spoken yet? I want to hear at least something from everyone.
Like a reflection is kind of like a takeaway that you took from like when someone says something.
Very good. Yeah, reflection is not a question. Reflection is as Mahima said, it's more like a something really struck you, something you felt inspired. We discussed last 30, 40, 50 minutes, but we may not remember all the points, but we will, something really inspired us today from Bhagavad Gita, from our discussion. Yes, Mishti, you want to say something?
A reflection is kind of when somebody says something, your own thoughts or opinions or anything you want to say on that, or something you've thought of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, based on the same points. Yeah, it's not a new topic, but on the similar lines. Yeah, very good. So anyone wants to say something or ask something before we kind of wind up? Yes, Vinayak.
Proji, so what does the acronym HEAD stand for?
So this is a way to remember chapter 7. The first H is hearing, E is everywhere, God is everywhere. We need the eyes, and the A and D will talk next time. Okay.
Okay, Proji, thank you.
The suspense. Okay, anyone else? Yes, Sampata.
Do we have any homeworks?
Yeah, I think for those who haven't completed the SMART goal format, please put that. Some of you have done that. Some of you may not have done that. Some of you may have not done in the right format, so do that. Some of you haven't written the story, right? We have to write a story where the God and the devotee are talking, right? We discussed some examples, Satyavrat Muni talking to the Matsya avatar, and other examples also. So next time we'll discuss, okay? Will everyone do that by next time? Will everyone write their goals as well? Okay. I want to share something about, there are some feedbacks forms which I gave. Some of you have filled that, some of you haven't filled it. If you can fill that, that also will be great. But I really appreciate it, and I'll incorporate some of the feedbacks. One of the feedback was that we should do some kirtan at the beginning of the class, which is a very good idea, I feel. How many of you feel it's a good idea? Okay, so I think it's a good idea. So every at least 5 minutes, we will begin with that. Okay. Another feedback was that that we should do Kahoots also. So I also think it's a good idea, and we will do that next week. Okay. So Moksha Mataji will facilitate that for all of us. Okay. And some things were a little more generic, but these two things I think I can incorporate. And one feedback was that more understanding of the verses. So if something is not clear, then you have to ask, right? If you need more understanding of a particular verse, yes, we can talk in more detail. If something is not clear, don't feel shy to ask. No question is bad question. No comment is a bad comment, right? We're all learning, and as I told you, this Sunday evening is the best time because I meet all of you. So wonderful. Okay. So, okay, any other questions before we stop? Next time, so remember, next time you'll be going in groups and telling the story to each other. You know the story where devotee is talking to the Supreme Lord face to face, or kind of, there's reciprocation going on. Sakshi Gopal, deity, right, traveling to the Brahmana. That's also another very good example. Madhavendra Puri, in his dream, the Lord told, "Take me out." Remember that? The Gopinath story, and then the Govardhan story. The Chandan story, right? The Lord stole. The Lord told the pujari that I have stolen a kheer pot. There's so many such examples. So you can even discuss with your parents, family, friends, etc. But keep the story ready so that in 1 or 2 minutes you can share the essence. Okay, and the verses also I'll post in the group. We'll have made like a kind of Mataji has made a page, so you can easily keep doing the bonus verses. And congratulations to all those who got the certificate last week. Was it a good program? Did you all enjoy that? So congratulations to Navya, Mishti, Moksha, Mataji, Sampada, Wells, Avni, Vedehi. So 6 of you got. Now who all think you'll be ready by the end of this month? Who all feel you'll be ready to give the exam? Kṛṣṇa, Vinayak, Ishan, Sahas, Vinita, Mahima, Biraj, Haley. Good. Prapti has her hand up. Okay, that's amazing. That's good. Keep the goal strong. This is a summer break also. Keep the momentum going. Okay, I won't ask you every day or every week, but keep the momentum going. If you need help, we can also, the devotees who have already kind of cleared, I would encourage you to help your friends. Like one of you can help, like Vedi can help Vinita, Mishti can help Ethereal, like that. Avni can help Raina, right? And if you don't have a kind of, someone to help, then like Prapti and Haley can help each other, right? Krishna and Rama can help each other. You keep encouraging each other, right? Ishan and Lakshay, you keep encouraging each other. Biraj, Vinayak, you are together, you can keep encouraging. Mahima and Sahas, you are always encouraging each other. So like that, keep encouraging other so that we keep the momentum going. And we will arrange something very similar. If you all keep your vow, or those who are saying there are about 8-9 devotees. So I'm very excited to have one more, something similar towards the end of this month or early next month based on, so we'll talk more about it in about 2 weeks, but keep the momentum going. Okay, so we will pause here, and sorry, I apologize for my unstable behavior today because of the internet issues, so I hope you'll forgive me. Next time, remind me, we will talk about how to handle mistakes. Okay, will someone remind me how to handle mistakes? Okay, what should we do? Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Bhagavad Gita Upanishad ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai, Nityam Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.
Hari Hari Bol.